everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome back to a playthrough of Arkham Horror, the card game. Today I'm doing the Dunwich Legacy. I am on Chapter 5. Is it Scenario 5 or Chapter 5? It's called Scenario 5. It's called Undimensioned and Unseen. Now there was an interlude between the last scenario and this one, but it's basically just talking to the survivors that I rescued, 4 out of 5 of them, and then I get to add their card to my deck. So I did manage to save Armitage, Rice, Morgan, and Watley. I believe Sawyer was the one that I did not. And so because of that, because I saved 4 out of the 5, this scenario is starting me out with just 2 of the bad guys in play versus 5. So I kind of lucked out there. Now, just a couple business items to take care of. With this scenario, it tells me that I need to add a new basic weakness to each deck, and I can pick it, and it doesn't count towards your hand limit, which is 30. So for Rex, I have chosen Paranoia, and I am going to go ahead and shuffle it in there. And I used 10 of my XP. I spent 8 of it to upgrade his deck. I got Charisma, which allows him to have up to 2 allies in play instead of 1. And I also got him, what was the other one I got? It was the Necronomicon. I purchased the Necronomicon, which he now has in his possession. It kind of felt like the story could lead that way since that's what they were searching for. And I think Armitage trusts him now and has provided him with the copy from Miskatonic University, and it's a pretty powerful artifact if I can get it drawn. But it's shuffled in here, and it'd be nice if I could find it, but I'm not going to worry about it. Now, Rex and Roland both start with 1 mental trauma and 1 physical trauma, so their health and sanity will be starting 1 lower than normal. For Roland, and I just dropped his card. Sorry about that. For Roland, I picked a basic weakness of internal injury. And I will go ahead and shuffle that in here. And so now each of them have 2 basic weaknesses that can come up. And what's funny about this game, I like that. I think it's funny that as your investigators get closer to the truth of this horrible story, that they start developing more psychosis, and so it's sort of thematic that your hero starts to get more damage over time, right? And I've always thought that was a neat mechanic of the game. All right. Also in play, I get to start with the Powder of Ibn Ghazi. I don't know, probably not pronouncing that right. This was discovered in the last scenario when I defeated the big monster. It says Powder enters play with X clues on it, where X is the number of characters who survived the Dunwich Legacy, which is 4. As a fast action, I can move one of those clues from the powder to an exhausted brood of Yogg at your location. The brood of Yogg is one of these monsters that that is not good. It says brood of Yogg gets +1 health and for each investigator, so it starts with 1. But it's going to end up with 3, and cannot be damaged or attacked except using the ability on Esoteric Formula, which I'm not sure what that is yet. It's a card that will come into play at some point. And then finally, let me read it to you. Your search of the village of Dunwich has uncovered a number of documents, journal entries, and esoteric theories. Reading through these materials leaves you exhausted and emotionally drained. Most of the content was written by a single source, a man named Seth Bishop. When you ask around town, you learn that Seth is a citizen of Dunwich. Along with several others, Seth had witnessed firsthand the devastation wrought by the events of the Dunwich Horror, as Armitage had dubbed the incident. Go read the Dunwich Horror if you haven't. It's a great story. Curiously, since that time, very few people had seen Seth around town, and those who did claimed his eyes had been bloodshot and his face sweaty and pale. You don't doubt that somebody who has seen what Seth has seen would appear nervous or paranoid. But the more you read of his frantic and unhinged writings, the more you believe he is involved in recent events. His writings speak of having gathered the remains and of using arcane methods to imbue the Father's essence, in quotes, into other creatures and eventually into other people. The explanations and diagrams that follow are unfathomably complex and defy understanding. Before you are able to find Seth and confront him, several men and women from the village approach you in a panic. "It's back," one of them wails. You recognize him as Curtis Watley of the Undecayed branch. "Whatever it was that killed them fries, it's back, up and smashed the bishop's home like it were made of paper." Curtis and the other townsfolk are clamoring amongst themselves, raising their voices in a panic. Okay, I have a decision to make. I can try to calm them down in order to learn more. Go to page 94. You try to warn the townsfolk and convince them to evacuate. Go to page 96. Let me try to learn more. I'll do the page 94. You aim to calm the townsfolk so they can explain to you what is going on. They inform you that there was a rumbling to the north, and when they went to investigate, they found the bishop's farmhouse has been torn to shreds. A trail of heavy tracks led into a nearby Cold Spring Glen. "You know what to do, right? You Arkham folks stopped this thing last time," one of the townsfolk says. Curtis shakes his head and bites his lip. "We couldn't even see that hellish thing until the old professor sprayed that there powder on it," he says. "To this day, I wish I hadn't seen it at all. Something must be done to stop the monster's rampage. But if the documents you found are true, there may be more than one such creature on the loose. Record in your campaign log that you calmed the townsfolk." I will do that. Continue to set up on page 98. Okay, I've already got the deck here, ready to go. The 6 locations, it tells me, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the 6 locations tells me to put it here, here, plus goes there, diamond goes here, it's the diamond in the middle, and the circle here. So I need to make some room here. This is getting kind of tight. Let's pull this one up a little bit. Okay, so it looks like this. Let me get the direction little markers out to indicate where I can travel to. In this game, you can't always move card to card. Sometimes there's shortcuts and things like that. All right, so there's a location. This is a location. Transfer this one. This one. This one. Oh, need more. Okay, let's see. That one broke. Great. Okay. One goes here, and one goes here. All right. Oh, I got another one right here. Okay. Looks like there's lots of options to move. Okay. Got it all done. I have shuffled my decks. It says each investigator searches for a random. I did that. Put the powder of Ghazi into play. Each investigator begins in Dunwich Village, which is right here. All right, they begin there, which means this one is revealed. And it has 1 clue on it, right? And a shroud of 3. And it says you can come back here to resign and hide from the creatures. All right, as a fast action, you may borrow some hounds to track the creatures by scent. An investigator in Dunwich Village may place one of his or her clues on any abomination enemy in play. That's got to come into play somehow with the act and agendas. Let's read the agenda. Agenda 1A. It takes 5 doom to advance. It says reports of terrifying entities wreaking havoc across the countryside have caused the citizens of Dunwich to panic. Worse, the creature seems to be invisible to the naked eye. Forced, at the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yog Sothoth enemy once toward a random location. Okay. So there is a deck here of 6 cards. 5 cards? No, 6. That represent all these locations. What I'm supposed to do is shuffle these, whenever it tells me to move them, and pick one. And I'll pick from the bottom. And that will be the one where it's moving in the direction to. Okay, at the end of the enemy phase, move each brood of Yoggoth once toward a random location. Okay, so it could be far away, so it will move towards it. Now, Act 1A, which needs 4 clues to advance. Saracenic script. The monsters tearing through Dunwich County are immune to traditional weapons. Only by reciting a particular incantation can the creature be defeated. First, you must search the ruins of Wilbur Whatley's home in order to find the final section of the otherworldly script. Objective: only investigators at Whatley ruins may spend the requisite number of clues to advance. So I have to get 4 clues, and I have to get here. Okay, got it. All right, let's go ahead and draw the cards. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you remember you get to do a mulligan, and you also get rid of a weakness. There's a weakness. I get to draw again. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. And they're all good. I'm not gonna give those up. All right, and then Roland gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Oh yeah, it's weapon and an ally. Excellent. Okay, magnifying glass is good. Dodge is good. That's all good. I can use those. Let me reset their turns to 3, and we are ready to go. Now, this is the treachery deck. I forgot to show you it. I'll shuffle it up. This has already been, whenever you play the scenarios, it always tells you which cards to put in there. So I've got them all set up, and we'll put this up here, and it is time to go. All right. So there is a clue there, and we need 4 to get here. So we can go to Blasted Heath, 10 Acre Meadow, or Cold Spring Glen. Now, oh yeah, it told me, put 1 copy of the Yogg, Brood of Yogg at Cold Spring, and 1 copy at Blasted Heath. Well, I don't think I'm ready to go to those locations yet, because A, I do have the powder, but it says you can't hurt them unless you have the esoteric formula. So we need to avoid them if at all possible. And that whole movement at the end of the enemy phase, move each enemy towards a random location. That's gonna be bad. Okay, so let's try and get them. Investigate, move, 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 move. Let's try to get straight there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send Roland first, and he has basically, they each start with 5 resources. And he needs to move all the way. What I want to use him to do is expose these locations so I know what's there. So on his first, he's going to move here, and we're going to reveal this one. And it is called 10 Acre Meadow. There are 3 clues here. That's enough to get the 4 that I need to advance. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says, as a fast action, you set a bait using a live animal. Each investigator in 10 Acre Meadow may place 1 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy in 10 Acre Meadow. Somehow this whole putting clues on them is, I don't remember having played this. I haven't played this in a long while, so I cannot remember what the secret to that is. So I'm just gonna, that's good, I don't know. But I do know I need 4 clues when I get here. So he moved once, that's 1 action. And he's going to move here for his second action. And there are 4 clues there. Oh, there's all the clues I need are right there. Okay. And it says, each investigator in Whatley Ruins gets -1 will. As an action, you can test 4 research. If you are successful, move a Brood of Yogg-Sothoth enemy 1 location in any direction. Oh, that's nice. That is not bad at all. Let's leave these clues alone because they're easy to get. They're easy. 3 and 2 would be nothing for Rex. 1, 2, and I'm going to have him investigate. Actually, no. Let's get his weapon out. Well, the weapon won't help right now. But a clue would be great. A clue to help him. Or I get out Beat Cop, which would help. Let's get out Beat Cop. No, the weapon. No, Beat Cop. I'm going to play Beat Cop for 4. And he is done. Alright, why? Because Roland only has 4 health left, 4 sanity. And I need to have something that can soak up some of that sanity. Alright, now it is Rex's turn. Rex. Oh, wait, this is his deck. Sorry. Rex's deck. Does he have anything that would get him a free clue? If you succeed, discover 2 total clues from among your location and connecting. Oh, he could get 3 clues just like that. 2 plus 1 is 3. So let's see. If he moves 1, 2, and then he investigates, he would get 1 and 2. So he would get 3 clues, or he could just take all 3 of these. That is not bad. Let's do that. I test for will. If you are successful, move it. Well, we'll see where the brood is. Okay. One move. Actually, hold on. I don't want to have to come back to Dunwich Legacy. It's a wasted move. So I am going to investigate to grab that, and I'm going to play Seeking Answers. It costs 1. If you succeed, discover 2 total clues from among your location and connecting. So I'll pay 1 resource to play that. And his research is, or his investigate is 4, and I'm doing versus 3. He does not get any bonuses, but I'm going to throw in Unexpected Courage to, oh, I forgot to shuffle in Rex's Curse when I drew it. Let me do that. I'm going to go ahead and throw in Unexpected Courage to boost it 2, so he'll be at 6 versus 3. Really, the only way he can fail is to draw the auto fail. And hopefully he will not. All right, 6 versus 3, and I'll get 3 clues in total. I got the auto succeed. Plus 2. You may instead choose to automatically fail to draw 3. No, I don't want to do it. And then as a fast action, after you succeed at a skill test by 2 or more, discover 1 clue. So, I can choose to discover this one because he successfully did by 2. And this says, if you succeed, discover 2 total clues from among your location and connecting. So he'll get these 2. Okay, well, I was hoping there was more clues on here, but that's okay. All right, so he did succeed, which is awesome. And then he'll move 1, 2, and that is his turn. All right, it is now the enemy phase. Enemy phase, each one of the brood will move in a random direction. So what I'm supposed to do is, I'm supposed to take these, and what I'm going to do is, you're just going to have to trust me, I'm looking up at the ceiling, and I'm just flipping, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bottom one for the topmost one. Cold Spring Glen. So this one will go here. And then I'm going to shuffle again for the bottom one, and I'm looking up at the camera above me so I don't cheat. And I'm going to pick the bottom one, and this one's going to move to Dunwich Legacy Village also. All right. Now this one wanted to move to Cold Spring Glen. So on the next time when I pick, they're just sort of mindless, I guess. They're supposed to be wandering randomly. But the good news is they're not near me. All right, now it is upkeep phase. These were supposed to be flipped down. You flip them up. Everybody gets a resource. And I draw a card. Roland draws Monster Slayer, +1 damage. Okay. And Rex draws Working a Hunch. Discover a clue at your location. Okay, and then now it's Mythos phase. We place a Doom token here. And then each investigator has to draw an event card. And the way this works is it's the first 2 moved, which was Roland, or first 2 activated. Roland gets an Avian Thrall. Prey, the lowest research, which is him. It's a hunter. While it is being attacked using ranged, firearm, or spell, it is -3 fight. So its fight is normally 5. So if I were to cast a spell or use a weapon, it's -3, but unfortunately I did not get my weapon out. So it engages with Roland, which is not good, because it's got a fight of 5. And then Rex draws Towering Beasts. Peril. Attached to a brood of Yog-Sothoth in play. If that enemy is at your location, take a damage. The attached enemy gets +1 fight and +1 health. I'll give it to the top one here. And that is the end of the turn. Okay. Now Roland needs to deal with this Avian. I do not have a weapon, and I don't have a firearm, a ranged firearm or spell. So it's a 5 fight, and my fight is 4. And it has 4 health. Oh, man. Okay, what can I do? I could dodge. Play when an enemy attacks. When it attacks me, I've got to dodge. That's good to know. But I have to attack it or try to evade it. My evade is 2 versus 3. And if I fail to evade, that's an action. Defeating, I need to get my gun out. But the problem is, I don't know. I can't do that without it getting an attack on me. Well, the cop gives me +1, so it's 5 versus 5. And this would give me +1 damage. That would do 2 if I hit it. All right, let's try. I will play this at 0 cost. It gives me +1 damage, and the cop gives me +1 fight. So I am at 5 versus 5. And if I hit it, I will get to do 2 damage. 5 minus 2 is 3, and I miss. Alright, so that card goes into the discard. And that was 1 action. I will fight it again. I'm 5 versus 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. I fail. Let me get those tokens. That's not good because I've only got 1 more action left. And that means it's probably going to attack me, but I do have that dodge, so I've got that going for me. Okay, so let's see. For my 3rd and final action, 5 versus 5. I did it. All right, so I do put 1 damage on it. And that is the end of his turn. Now, Rex will play. I'll spend 2 to play fast. Play only during your turn. Discover a clue. I will pay the 2 to play this card. And these were his. That's his discard. And that gives me the 4th and final clue. So that was 1 action. And then this says only investigators at Watley may spend the clues. I will spend it. I will spend 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, this game is all about. What did I do with that 4th clue? There we go. This game is all about speed. It's getting those clues and moving the game forward. So let's flip it. Check the campaign log. If Dr. Armitage survived, read this. If Dr. Armitage was not, read. Okay, so I'll be reading the top because he did survive. There, Armitage sighs a breath of relief, jotting down the last phrases of the formula. I have translated it. He shudders as he hands you the script, the words conjuring forth memories of his battle with the creature. I hope this is the last time I'll have to read it, he admits. But if we do nothing, the end result will be much, much worse. Each investigator puts into play 1 esoteric formula. Excellent. Okay. And I don't know what. Let me read it, because this is probably how you're going to kill this thing. So each one gets an esoteric formula. Esoteric formula is an asset. It says, as an action, fight. This attack uses will instead of fight. You get +2 will for this attack for each clue on the attached. Oh, that's nice. Use this ability only on an abomination. Okay, so going back, it said you set a bait using a live animal. Each investigator in 10 acres may place 1 of his or her clues on an abomination. On an abomination enemy. It has to be here to do that. So you have to lure them, place a clue. That's kind of. Can you only play? You get the bait. Each investigator may place 1 clue. Okay, so you can only do 1 per fast action. You set a bait. Each investigator may place 1 of his or her clues on an abomination enemy. Group limit once per game. So each one can do it once on here. And I'm betting that these other locations let you do something similar. Because these suckers got 6 health, 6 fight, 3 health. Ugh. And the salt, or what was it? The powder of Ibghazi. Powder of Ibghazi enters with X clues on it. Okay, so I do have clues. 1, 2, 3, 4 on this card. Let me put this here so I remember it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it says, as a fast action, you can move 1 of these to an exhausted brood at your location. So to exhaust them, you have to evade them, and that's tricky. Okay, I think we got this. Or at least I know how to fight them. I don't know if I'll win. So Rex played 1. He got the clue. Let's go ahead and get these clues. Can he do anything? This was his... These were the 2 cards I played. These are the ones. I played that one. I didn't play that. I didn't play that, and I didn't play that. Okay. So I have exhausted those 3, and this is my hand. So I have nothing really useful here. To the end of the round, you may use your... Okay, well, this could help. For evade, I can use investigate instead of evade. All right, we need to get clues, so we start putting clues on them. So I'm going to get at least 1 turn because they can't move all the way over here. They can only move 1. So we're going to try to go in a clockwise. We're going to try to run from them until we get enough clues. Oh, and let me read the new act. With the formula in hand, you finally have the means to destroy the creatures wreaking havoc, but only if you can survive. Objective: defeat as many brood as you can. If there are no copies of brood in play or set aside, you can advance. So I got to kill both of them? Ooh, okay. All right. It is now... Let's see. He needs to do an investigate. So he will investigate at 4 versus 2. Now, if he succeeds by 2 or more, he gets another clue. Do I want to help him with that? Yeah. Let's play this to give me a bonus 1. That takes me up to 5 versus 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. I did not defeat it by 2, but I still got a clue. And let's do my 3rd action. I'll do it again. And I have nothing really to help me, so it's just 4 versus 2. 4 minus 1 is 3, and that is another one. All right, and he is done. So they're both exhausted. It is now the enemy phase. So during the enemy phase, I take this deck, and I'm going to... The reason I'm not flipping over, they're the same on both sides, so I have to look up at the ceiling so I don't cheat. And I'm just shuffling, and I'm going to take the top one and move it to Dunwich Village. It will stay there. Okay. And then I'm going to move the bottom one. Watley Ruins. It wants to come for me, so it will move here. That's the shortest route. I could go this way. All right. There we go. They are on their way. Let's... all right, that is the enemy phase. Flip these over. I get a resource. I need 4 to buy my gun, so I need 1 more resource. The Avian... Oh, you know what? Sorry, the Avian attacks for 1 health and 1 damage, and I will put that on the beat cop. 1 health and 1 sanity on the beat cop. He can take 1 more sanity before he loses. Before I lose him. All right, so you're done. It is now my turn. Let's have Rex. Oh, I didn't draw cards. Hold on. Roland draws Glory. Fast play after you defeat an enemy, draw 2 cards. Rex draws Unexpected Courage. Perfect. And now it is the Doom phase. Place this. Who went first? Roland did, because he fought this one. Roland draws Eager for Death. Test 2 will. Increase this skill difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. He hasn't taken any damage. If you fail, take 2 horror. Ooh, don't fail this. 2 will. So my will is 3 versus 2. Do I have anything that can help him? I do. Zebulon Watley, you get +1 will after you succeeded a will test on a treachery. Oh man, I need to hold on to that. All right, let's see. The 2 horror would kill the beat cop, and 1 would transfer over to me. So it's 3 versus 2. And do I have anything that can help him? I'm gonna... All right, as you heard, my alarm just went off. I try to keep these videos under 30 minutes, so I will be back next week with, I hope, the conclusion of this scenario. We shall see. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this game of Arkham Horror, the card game. I'll see you in a week. Everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.